I appreciate everyone dialing in on this WebEx in regards to the roll crushers and high-capacity applications. My name is Philip Schaefer. I'm Regional Sales Manager for TerraSource Global. I cover the western part of the United States and western Canada. Started with the company in 1975 in production, testing, and final assembly. In '86, moved on to field service. '94 to service manager. 2006 to regional sales manager. In 2012, TerraSource regional sales manager. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing is we'll be muting all the lines so that we don't get any interference, and you can submit your questions through the feature on the screen, and we'll get back with you at the end of the presentation. This presentation is being recorded, so we'll move forward.
Before we mute the lines, can everybody see Phil's picture on the screen? We just want to make sure everybody is getting the presentation correctly.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great. I'll start muting lines. Thanks. Go ahead.
Today we're going to be talking about on the roll crushers the history, operation, material processed, material flow, design, installation, features, protection for the crushers, how to feed your crusher, additional options, application form, and of course the question and answer session. The crushers are applied in coal mining, coal preparation plants, power plants, refineries for crushing petroleum coke, steel industry for metallurgical coke, industrial minerals, fertilizers, potash, clay, nickel ore, and several other ores. Lime, limestone, fluidized bed boiler sorbent is one of the things that's used for. Aluminum industry, the bath and anodes, which is a recycling circuit in the aluminum plants. Salt, glass, among other applications. There's quite a few of them on here. I'm not going to read them all, but you can see that there's quite a few applications that we've been into. One of them that really catches a lot of people's eye is the lower right hand, the 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit material. Crusher is specially designed for that, and we've got several of those in operation. The types of crushers, roll crushers, are single roll against a breaker plate, the single stage 2-roll crushers, 2-stage 4-roll crushers, special design for hot material and sticky materials. The single roll was developed close to 100 years ago to crush run-of-mine coal. The 80-30 breakers were developed in 1972. Many are still operating in the Powder River Basin, Wyoming, New Mexico, Arizona, and South America. The breaker was developed to perform primary and secondary crushing all in one unit. The breaker has approximately a 24-to-1 size reduction, run-of-mine down to 2-inch or 50 millimeter. Smaller model 4-roll crusher was developed for Stoker, which is the house coal, back in 1948. The 80-30 breaker, definitely a workhorse in the industry. Most of them that were manufactured back in the 70s are still operating. The breaker started off as a 2-motor drive, definitely a 4-roll, and it's evolved to 4-motor drive and also has the nitrile system in employed on the machine, which I'll talk about a little bit later. This machine can take up to a 60-inch lump and size it down to approximately 50 millimeter. The machine is also carriage mounted for ease of maintenance. If you get a non-crushable in this model, it has approximately 28-inch stroke in the main cylinders and approximately 5 inches of stroke in the secondary cylinders. Two different models you're looking at here. The one on the left is the two-motor drive. Two different drives driving the rolls. The rolls, as you can see in the bottom, are a passing tooth design, so there's no timing required. The machine on the right is a one-motor drive. You can put passing tooth rolls in this machine, or you can put a timed roll, which you can see in the lower right-hand corner. Normally with this type of configuration, kind of a sprocket meshing application or type of roll setup, you do need a gearbox to maintain the position of the rolls. The 5000 series is a two-roll, two-motor drive with a nitrile system employed on it. Again, this is a passing tooth design, can crush down to approximately 50 millimeters. In the lower right-hand corner, we have the machine sitting on a common base. The common base will support the crusher, the motors, the guards, and of course the V-belt drive. Makes for a real nice package when you're wanting to install the entire assembly. This model also has maintenance doors, has dribble chutes. Any material that could come out of the crusher box will go down into the discharge area, which is incorporated into the discharge chute. The 5000 series has an electric pump for moving the oil into the cylinders for roll positioning. The nitrile system basically works like a gas shock on your car, but you can add or subtract the nitrogen pressure or holding force to keep the rolls in position while they're crushing the feed. The nitrile system also gives you a nice quick way of adjusting the roll gap. Manipulating a couple valves with the electric pump, you can adjust the rolls in very short time. The single roll, there's a couple different models on the single roll. Crushing against a breaker plate, which is adjustable for roll product sizing. The middle picture basically is showing the frozen coal cracker. When the machine is not required in the summertime, the roll can be moved out of the material flow. The single stage, again, is a primary reduction, 6-to-1 reduction ratio, and like I said, the frozen lump cracker is basically for summer use. They are V-belt driven. The two-stage four-roll crusher, the model you're looking at is a 3000, and when I'm speaking about the series machines, we have 1000 up to 5000 series, and the bearing shaft sizes and the other componentry just get larger as the crusher gets larger. So this one is a four-roll, one-motor drive. chain secondary drive drives the top rolls to the bottom rolls. The gearboxes, the upper gearbox here drives the upper rolls, keeps them in time, and the lower gearbox connects the two lower rolls and keeps them in time. This machine can take up to a 24-inch lump. This model would be a 3000 series. 3 and 15/16 shafts, double spherical roller bearings, nitrile system, and a standard lubrication system, which is a bulkhead, one on each side of the machine. The 5000 series is the only one that has the electric pump. The other machines have a hand pump. The 4-roll basically was developed to the upper rolls are to pre-crush the material, giving the lower sizing roll an acceptable size so you don't get any buildup between stages. Normal reduction we like to see is like a 3 to 4 reduction. That's each stage gives you that reduction. 4 to 6 foot drop is ideal. The trajectory of the feed coming into the crusher is very important. Spreading in the material across the entire length of the rolls. Grab material, crush material, discharge, and take the material away properly. Retaining material generates fines and wear. So basically we want to take the material, grab it, crush it, and discharge it. Retention creates fines and wear. Just showing another picture of how the material comes into the machine. Again, if the material gets too large, it'll basically popcorn on the top of the rolls, and the rolls will chew away at it, but the problem is it's got all this other tonnage coming on top of it, and it doesn't have time to do that. Again, the 4-roll machine, 4-to-1 brake top stage, 4-to-1 brake bottom stage. A good way to feed the machines are a vibrating feeder. Jeffrey Rader makes a real nice vibrating feeder. Electromagnetic or electromechanical are brute force type feeders. This spreads the material across the length of the roll and allows the material to drop into the crusher rolls properly. It's a typical installation drawing that we send with quotations. Shows what we like to see. We do realize that retrofits, it's a give and take situation with the retrofitting of a machine. But this installation, if the equipment's put in properly like this, having the proper drop, spreading on the material, and a proper discharge area underneath the machine, you want to take it away as fast as you're putting it in. It works out very well. We even put in the type of trolley beams and lifting devices you'd need for the crusher rolls and motors and other things like that. Protecting the equipment is always important. Magnet, metal detector is important to protect your equipment. Shows another slide of how the material should come into the machine. Like I said earlier, the nitrile system that's on the machine is preset with the pressure to hold the crusher roll in to do the normal crushing. But yet if a non-crushable enters the machine, this roll will force that pressure back, cylinder back, and allow that non-crushable to go through, basically overcoming the preset pressure. The pressure can be increased, but that allows for more pressure to force the roll back. It's is showing how the material should be spread across the length of the roll to get your maximum throughput. Maximum roll life is very important. The capacity is determined with the roll crusher basically by your roll gap, roll length, the speed of the roll, and the RPM. This is a view of what some of the rolls look like if you're not feeding it properly. This front roll here basically was beyond repair because it got into the base metal of the roll. The other one, the teeth are still intact. That can be rebuilt. But it's important to spread that material across that entire length of the roll. This is another set of rolls that were not being fed properly. They lasted about 6 months. Fortunately, they pulled them out because they were having some capacity problems. So they will be rebuilt. One of the simple installations are simple circuits, basically with the 2-roll. Like I said before, you're taking the run-of-mine material and crushing it down to 50 millimeter, and it works really well in the run-of-mine applications. Some of the other applications, material, warm or hot, 350C, boiler clinker, feed, let's say 25 millimeter by 0, product 95% -8 at 12 metric tons per hour. And we've installed some of the smaller machines for these applications, 2-roll 1000 series, different roll configurations we can put in this machine here, the smooth, small chisel tooth, or herringbone. Just a picture of 1000 series installed. The other machine used on clinker before is the single roll, easy access, well sealed. You can replace the parts definitely in situ. As you can see, the side folds down and you can access the wear components very easily. Again, this is installed mostly in the bottom ash or clinker installations. Another machine, one of the only ones that we manufacture is a 3-roll. It's called an AccuGrind. Material first passes through the primary breaker roll, and then it continues on to the 2 lower rolls, which are 18 inches in diameter. In the lower right-hand picture, you can see the drive arrangement, how we allow one of the rolls or the rolls to turn in the same direction. Some of the features of the machines, we definitely have some unique features. I'm not sure of any other manufacturer that sells crushers with coupling mounted rolls. The coupling mounted rolls are set up so that you don't have to disturb any of the main bearings to get the rolls in and out of the machine. We do have some models that are not coupling mounted, but the majority of the machines are coupling mounted. As you can see with this slide, the rollers are out of the machine. Main bearings are not disturbed. We do have to loosen V-belts and support the pulley because the rolls are support from side to side of the crusher. We supply the removal rails with the machine. It's actually a tool to support the roll until you get it out where you can pick it up with your lifting device. One of the other things that's really important is don't allow any of your chute work to rest on our crusher. because of roll removal especially. Plus, we don't want the weight of the inlet chute on our crusher. The housing, as you can see, it's split in many different ways for ease of removal, and the chute being resting on the crusher would be a real problem. This model here shows several different things. It actually has a boot on the inlet chute, which works very well. It has the automatic lubrication system, the nitrile system. The machine has wheels on it to raise it up and move it from underneath the flow of material, mostly for maintenance or replacing of the crusher. The guards, we actually manufacture the guards. We split the guards for the ease of removal. Works out very well. Some of the other features are segmented rolls. On the 4 and 5000 series, we have segmented rolls for the 24-inch, 30-inch, or 36-inch diameter rolls. The segments could be 40 inches long, 20 inches long, and there's 4 around the circumference of the roll. It makes for a real nice change out for maintenance, because the roll is, in the larger crushers, the rolls are very heavy, and removing rolls can be a little safety issue. So having segmented rolls works very nicely so that you don't have to even take the roll out of the machine. The upper rolls can have segments on them with grab teeth. The lower rolls can have segments on them with the chisel tooth. Segments can be rebuilt many times. Normally, about 3 times is a good life of the segments. To extend the life, we've incorporated a chisel tooth with a carbide tile on the front. It's welded on to the tooth. It's got little carbide chips in it, and it helps extend the life of the tooth. We also have available a tooth, an entire tooth with carbide made into the tooth. The bearings on the machines are double spherical roller bearings, self-aligning. We have a series of seals. It's kind of like a taconite seal. It's a lip seal on the outside, a felt, and a labyrinth on the inside. This helps prevent the wash down of the equipment, the water, and that from getting into the bearings. Very good seal arrangement. As you can see, the housings, as I mentioned earlier, are split quite a few different ways. You can get them where they don't have as many splits, as you can see in this piece here. But it makes it very easy for roll removal. The slope plates in the machine help divert the material into the center of the roll. They can be made of carbon steel. They can have ceramic lining on them. They can have AR plate on them, whether they're bolted or plug welded. You know, it's just a choice of the customer. Several other ways of adjusting the machine is a non-running adjustment. Basically, you can adjust the machine, but you have to shut it down and unbolt the block and physically move it with the adjustment bolt. This is normally when you don't have to adjust the crusher very often, or you don't care about tramp relief or anything like that. The spring adjustment, manual adjustment, this is an Acme screw in here with a spring, approximately 2 inches of compression, which is the relief of the assembly. Normally this is in the 2000, 3000 series crushers. If you don't have to adjust the crusher a lot, this works very well, but it is easy to adjust also. Basically, putting a rod in the holes here and turning this, the chain allows both sides to turn at the same time, keeping the rolls parallel, which is very important for the gearbox and other components on the equipment. The nitrile system, as I mentioned earlier, is for ease of adjustment of the crusher and also a tramp relief or non-crushable relief for the crusher. The alignment system, as you can see on here, helps keep the rolls parallel when the roll is being adjusted. So another view of the nitrile system on a 4000 and 5000 series. Basically, the nitrogen gas is an inert gas. It's on the cap end of the cylinder, and the oil is on the rod end of the cylinder. And the pivoting mechanism to allow the roll to move back. Different styles of rolls. The primary set of rolls, you can see intermittent grab teeth. The intermittent grab teeth basically create a pocket to allow the lump to fall into and the roll grab the material and pull it through the crusher. Lower chisel tooth or could be primary set of rolls, passing tooth design. A disappearing grab tooth style, to where the crusher is very close to requiring an upper set of rolls, but yet we can get by with a passing tooth design. The hook tooth design, that was the original style upper roll for crushing material down to a nominal 2x0. An original 18 pocket tooth roll for making a nice stoker. This roll is still available in the segmented design. However, it's been replaced with a continuous tooth type roll. Very comparable product sizing between the two rolls. Another continuous tooth roll, a little shorter, make a little finer product. This is a shorter pocket tooth design. You can see where the rib is continuous. The tooth is continuous and the rib is broken. And then the pin tooth roll design used on a lot of clay applications or sticky applications works very well. Another shorter pin application for clays. The herringbone style roll could have a straight pattern or the chevron pattern. The diamond pattern, basically a double herringbone. Segmented rolls, circular segmented rolls, are for the 2000 and 3000 series. They can be used for clean coal, fertilizer applications, hot applications. You can put different style segments on the backup roll and configure your roll. Again, the continuous tooth is a gearbox is required. We can crush down to actually timing rolls used for minus 35 millimeter. We do a real nice job of three-dimensional crushing. It crushes in two different planes, where you're crushing in this plane and this plane here where these teeth come in and mesh. They generate fewer fines because we're only crushing what needs to be crushed. Impact crushing smashes the material, creating excessive fines. These crushers like this, basically we're doing compressive crushing and not creating a lot of fines. The gearbox, exploded view of that, you can see your drive gears here connected to the shafts. The idler gears connects to two halves, and that's how you can adjust the crusher on the fly, the way the gearbox is designed. It's a gun-lock design. It's not a Falk, not a Dodge, but it's designed by Mr. Gunlock originally. The gearbox is also designed, it's an enclosed gearbox, we call it, where you can bench build it. You can get a spare gearbox, send it in, we'll rebuild it. We have templates we can use, and send it back to you all completely rebuilt with a warranty on it. Different bells and whistles that you can put on. Speed sensors for speed drop, stainless steel nameplates, LVDT in the cylinder showing roll gap, and the bulkhead lube can be upgraded to a automatic lube system. This here is a Lincoln system we have on some of the crushers. It is an upgrade. It can be operated pneumatically or electric with the pumps. This is a pneumatic system with a timer. Another view of the different reservoirs that can be supplied with the machines. Another one here is showing a 2000 series on a common base. They basically wanted the crusher to be able to be moved as a complete unit. The electrical had enough line on it to be able to move it. The loop system and several other things had a quick disconnect. So when the machine was moved out from underneath the flow of material to maintain it, that was all disconnected. The data that we need as far as applying the crusher is listed here. A lot of basics, but there's some information that we really need in order to understand the application and size the crusher properly. So if you have any particular applications you want to share with us, please complete the form and submit this. So if there's any questions, feel free.
The lines are all unmuted now, so go ahead and ask questions.
We're unmuted?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just a question on the roll teeth. You know, there's a number of ways to get them on there. It looks like they're welded on in hard surface. Who decides the material of construction or the hard surface? Customer, or does Gunlock suggest based on the application and their background?
We have our standards. If a customer wants a particular type of hard facing, as you know about hard facing, the harder it is, the more brittle it is. So you have to make a decision whether, if it's 3 times the price, can you keep it on there to get your 3 times the life. But we do have our standards. Most teeth are welded on, but we can do some different special things. The tooth alloy, we have forgings, and we have castings, and we have burned out teeth. So we have a variety of different types of tooth makeup.
Okay. Well, as a new rep for the Gunlock line, I probably would just discuss it with my regional manager in advance and see whether we have recommendations or customer has history with our machines and so on, I guess.
Sure. We'd like
again,
to...
Also on the nitrile system, when that which is automatic because of the fluid pressures, is there any limit switches or indicators that would let the customer know an uncrushable's gone through, or the size of the uncrushable that's gone through, so they could maybe stop their system, protect it downstream?
It's not a standard feature, but we have put limit switches. We put the LVDTs in the cylinder. Basically, that's the cylinder manufacturer puts that in for us. It sends a signal to the control room or PLC, and that can be equated to roll gap. I mean, you know, if you're crushing and you're crushing a little bit harder stuff and then softer stuff, so you could get a little bit of movement with the roll, so you don't want to have any false readings. But if you have a real good movement, yes, you'd really want to find out, you know, why and correct the situation.
So we can put something in there for the larger movements, as you say, that would indicate maybe something large. And okay.
Absolutely, yes.
What would that option be called?
Well, we call it LVDT. Okay, and like I said, as far as the nitrogen pressure, the gas, you can put a low pressure switch on also. There's several things that have been requested that we can put on the equipment.
Good.